Hey everybody, how's it going? My name is Leon from No More Lines. If you're new to the channel, please be sure to subscribe. Like the video if you found it helpful. Leave a comment and watch the video to the very end. In this video, I'm going to show you how to programmatically find a sheet name within a collection of worksheets using Excel VBA. You're probably asking, what's the purpose of this? Well, one of the main points is that if you're writing code in VBA, oftentimes you need to see if a sheet is present. For example, if you're filtering, copying, and pasting, and you want to name a certain sheet, sometimes information such as a data set will not be the same every time that you run it. So sometimes you're going to need to make a contingency plan or an if statement within the code. And at times the code may change, or it may work differently when the data set is different within the information that you're trying to manipulate. But using this function, you can actually look for a sheet name, and if it's there, you can run code afterwards or do whatever you want to do with it pretty much. In this example, I made a function called find sheet name that essentially loops through a collection of worksheets within the workbook that you have open, and it looks for a specific sheet name. If it's there, it will return the value sheet is present within the cell, or you can actually piggyback off of it and run different code depending on what you want to do with it. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how it works. So what's great about this is that it is a user-defined function. So it does work within Excel itself. So you can pretty much type it out. It's called find sheet name. And the parameter itself is a string. So you have to put it in parentheses. So we'll use the example sheet 1. So we can do find sheet name sheet 1. And you'll see that it returns sheet is present. Now you'll see that basically I have it to where it's set up like that. So I have it to where if the worksheet name is present, it'll say sheet is present. If it's not present, it'll say sheet is not found. So I'll show you another example. So I'll add a new sheet. I'll call it example 1, and I'll run the same function name, find sheet name, and I'll type in example 1 in parentheses. You'll see that it actually shows up again, sheet is present. So what happens if I don't have a sheet? If I type in a sheet name that is not there, it'll return sheet is not found. So you see here that basically within a user-defined function is set up. In another video, I'll probably show you how to piggyback off of that, because you can use the same function to loop through all of the sheet names and put them within a column, and then from there you can actually go and select sheets based off of a list versus you having to search through sheets. Sometimes when you're working within a large collection of sheets that have different names, it's actually easy to just see a list of them so you can sort, and you can actually use this function to piggyback off of it to actually pick the sheet that you have selected. But I'll walk you through the code. So the function itself, it's called find sheet name. I said that earlier. And the parameter is going to be sheet namer. I just named it that. You can name it whatever you want to. I'm going to set my parameter as worksheet name, and I'm going to set it as a worksheet. And then from there, I'm going to do a for each loop. So what it does is that it says for each of the worksheets, which is the worksheet that I've defined, and the collection of worksheets, it's going to run that. And then I have an if statement in the middle, and to close it off, I have it to where it's going to go to our next worksheet and the collection of worksheets itself. So again, that worksheet name, this parameter here, it can be named anything. I just set it like that so that way it's easy to follow. And then again, the if statement is saying that if the worksheet name dot name, and the reason why it's a dot name here is because that worksheet is actually the worksheet itself. It's not the actual name or the string, it's the worksheet itself. And having a dot name, it actually sets it as a string value. So if the worksheet.name equals the sheet that I passed through, the parameter, and it would be, in this case, example 2, whatever I have in quotations, which is the sheet namer, if it matches, it's going to return the value of sheet is present. And then it's going to exit the function. And then the else statement is going to basically loop again. And then at the very end, if once it goes through all of the sheet names, it's going to say that if it's not there, it's going to put sheet is not found. And you see here that I've actually converted it to a subroutine. Now again, the great thing about this is that you can call this function outside of VBA and inside of the workbook itself. So it has two different uses for it. So you see here that I can actually name another sheet here, and I'm going to show you how it works when I call it a different way. So I'm going to look for example 2 now, the sheet called example 2. So now I'm going to run the subroutine. Now it works the same way. Only difference here is that I set a parameter as name, but actually here, instead of this being name here, I can put the parameter sheet1 in quotes with the function. It works pretty much the same way. But here I can just call it example 2 I mean. And then from there, it's going to go and call that function. And then if it equals to sheet is present, so if this find sheet name returns sheet is present, then it's going to go and select that worksheet. So that's just a little part I added to it. Basically, this part here where it selects the worksheet, you can actually call code based off of that. And probably an easier way of doing that is just to take this out, and then basically you can call a subroutine off of this one. So I'll walk you through this part here. So it works the same way. The only difference is that, again, I have the name itself as a parameter, and then I'm going to basically look for the example 2 worksheet. So once I run this, it's going to call the function. Sheet namer is going to be example 2 that I passed, and it's going to go through the same function. It's going to keep going. It's going to loop through it until it gets there. You see that it found the second one. So the worksheet name is example 2. So it found it, and now it's going to go and do the if statement, and then it found it is true. So now it's going to select example 2. So I'll do another one real quick. So I'll do another one. I'll call it example 3. But this time I'll show you that it basically will select the worksheet. So I'll show you. So I'll call it again. And this time I'll change it to example 3 instead of example 2. So it'll do the same thing. And once it found example 3, it's going to select the sheet example 3. So as you can see, I think it has some functionality to it. You can definitely play around with it. You can add whatever you want to add to it. I also added in some comments, so that way it's a little bit easier to kind of read what the function is doing and what the subroutine is doing. I'm going to leave this example. I'm going to zip it up into a archive file. You're free to use the code as you please. If you want to use it, you're welcome to. I'm going to link that in the description box and as a pinned comment. Hopefully you found this video helpful. Hopefully you understand everything I was doing with it. If you have any questions, please be sure to leave a comment. I'll definitely see if I can answer your questions. If you have any suggestions on any topics that you want me to go over, any kind of issues that you're having, or maybe anything that you would like me to cover in a future video, please leave a comment and let me know. I love feedback, and I just want to be able to provide value with these videos, and hopefully this video has done so. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you have a blessed day and you have a great day.